How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am your host, as always, Hicksydust, here with some more Pokemon-related content. Today we're covering Gen 6 and the Kalos region. This was the gen that pushed the franchise forward visually, but it still felt like a left turn creatively. Like, we went backwards somehow. Before I get into it though, if you've been enjoying this content so far, consider subscribing and clicking that little bell icon so you can stay up to date on all of my videos as we traverse all the different Pokemon games and regions. Gen 6, X and Y pushed things forward visually in a huge way. We went from 2D sprites and an overhead camera view to 3D models and a camera that actually followed you instead. It's a huge dose of nostalgia as the game brings back some of the series' biggest hitters and renders them into full 3D. 3D was mostly reserved for games like Pokemon Stadium and Coliseum before this. We also get character customization for the first time here. Previous games let you pick a gender, and that was basically it. Now we get into hair color, eye color, skin tone, clothing, accessories, backpacks, and even more. It's the beginning of letting your character look uniquely yours instead of just playing as someone's avatar. Another big innovation was the Pokemon aim system. Using the 3DS touchscreen, we can now pet, feed, and play with our Pokemon to help earn their trust. Getting actual benefits from battles, you could unlock things like a 20% boost in experience, increased chances to dodge or land critical hits. Sometimes they'll shake off status conditions on their own, and they can even hang on with 1 HP remaining after tanking a huge hit. Normally you'd need a Pokemon with the sturdy ability to tank hits like that, but the aim system allowed any Pokemon to accomplish this if you had high enough affinity towards them. The XP share also got reworked. Instead of just giving experience to one of your Pokemon, it now affects your entire party. Every Pokemon gains XP from battles. This is the gen a lot of fans point to as the moment the difficulty really started to drop off. This is also the first time fairy Pokemon were introduced. To fill out the new typing, Game Freak reached back through the older games and plucked certain Pokemon to add the fairy typing too, while also creating new ones like Sylveon. With all that out of the way, we can finally talk about the game's biggest additions, Mega Evolutions. As you may or may not know, Megas let you evolve one Pokemon per battle into a Mega form that pushes that Pokemon's limits even further. To really sell this, the game lets you choose one of the original 3 Kanto starters to join your team. And this is what I meant earlier when I said it feels like they went backwards creatively. You'd figure that with a brand new generation, they would have paired this gen's own starter trio, instead of relying on nostalgia to push the series forward. Mega Evolutions disperse after the battle and your Pokemon basically goes back to its original form. Gen 6 also introduced the fewest number of new Pokemon in the entire series with only 72 new additions. That's a far cry from the record-setting 156 we just got one generation before. This really cements that left turn feeling that I was talking about. We just left a region that gave us an all-new Pokédex, and now we're adding only 72 Pokemon and filling the rest with old favorites. Gen 5 was rumored to be a soft reboot, and then we landed up right back in Kanto. It almost feels like Game Freak lost faith in itself. That being said, I could still make a team of just Kalos Pokemon if I have to, and that team would basically look like this. Traditionally, I'm a grass type user, a pattern that I've stuck to since, we'll call it Gen 3, with Chespin, Froakie, and Fennekin as our starter trio for this game. Fennekin becomes my true choice this time around. Chespin just doesn't read as a grass-type Pokemon to me. It's a rodent wearing a hat. Fennekin is a literal fox on fire. Sure, you can make the link to Pokemon such as Vulpix, but Fennekin was my pick here. Fennekin eventually evolves into Delphox, a fire and psychic type Pokemon. That beats Chestnut's grass and fighting type twice, but then Delphox is twice as weak to Greninja's water dark typing. They really made sure the starter triangle could pulverize its advantage in this game. Remember I said from earlier that this game lets us pick one of the Kanto starters to test out Mega Evolutions? It would be so easy for me to reclaim my Gen 1 Ride or Die Bulbasaur here and sort out the rest later. But I actually like the grass type additions this game gives us more than the water options. So in this case, Squirtle into Blastoise is the smarter choice for this team. Mega Blastoise hits like a cannon, no pun intended, and rounds this team out really well. Speaking of grass, that slot gets filled by either Skiddo or Phantump. Why the branching paths? Phantump is the obvious pick for me. It's an adorable grass ghost type Pokemon that lets me repeat my series long pattern. The catch is you have to trade it to evolve it. If I don't have a trade partner, Skiddo into Go-Goat is another solid, serviceable line that I come back to in later gens. Dedenne is here to represent the brand new fairy typing. You know I had to pick something that showcased it, right? Well, this little bundle of Electric Fairy Rage does exactly that. It's spunky, it's adorable, and as for regional Pikachu clones, we could do a lot worse than this thing. The last two spots are where I break one of my rules and double up on typing. I don't usually like doing that, but when a gen drops two of my all-time favorite Dragon-type Pokemon, I'm not leaving either of them to chance. Even though Gen 6 releases a tiny batch of new Pokemon, it still managed to produce Tyrantrum and Noivern. Tyrantrum comes from the fossil line here, modeled after a giant theropod. Basically, they finally gave us a T-Rex.
The T-Rex are 32 miles an hour.
T-Rex?
Mm-hmm.
You said you've got a T-Rex?
Uh-huh.
Say again?
We have a T-Rex.
Oh.
It only took 6 generations. It's a rock dragon type, which means it shrugs off some of the usual dragon weaknesses like ice. Give it strong jaw and teach it all the elemental fangs, and suddenly you're holding a Swiss Army dragon. Noivern is the opposite energy. If Tyrantrum is an Abrams tank, Noivern is the F-22. Fast, strong, and built to hit hard from the moment it hits the field. This is my revenge switch. Something takes out one of my mons, Noivern swoops in like the angel of death and cleans house. Between those two, Gen 6 absolutely nails my dragon quota. Now with every favorite section, you know we have to pull out one to roast. And this one, yeah, well, it's a doozy. I present to you Klefki. Steel and Fairy, right? It's an interesting typing, but it's just a set of keys, mate. I just came off a video where I was complaining about an ice cream cone, and now we have a literal key ring here. Did Arceus fire his janitor and just keep it? This is where it really starts feeling like we're picking random household objects to be Pokemon. Left turn creatively is the tagline for this video, and decisions like this are exactly why. Anyways, that's my take on Gen 6. It lands somewhere dead center for me in terms of ranking. It polishes up old Pokemon really well with new graphics, gives us a handful of awesome new designs, and finally lets us customize our character. So it absolutely does certain things right, but it also leans hard on older Pokemon to accomplish this. This isn't a Gen 6 only problem. It kind of happens every other game, or at least I've noticed. So we'll start with Gen 1, right? Gen 1 is the starting point on the timeline. Gen 2 improves upon some things that were introduced in Gen 1, and then Gen 3 we flip the script and we give us a bunch of new Pokemon, a bunch of new mechanics. Gen 4 reuses older mons by creating new pre- and post-evolution forms for pre-existing Pokemon. Gen 5, we go all the way in the opposite direction, and they give us an entire Pokedex of brand new Pokemon. Then Gen 6 gives us more of the old, but they let us Mega Evolve them. And that's really the key takeaway here. The one thing this gen is most remembered for is the Mega Evolution mechanic. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as we dove into Gen 6. Let me know in the comments what some of your favorite memories were playing through this generation. Did you have a favorite Pokemon? Did you have a favorite Mega? Any feedback you leave helps the channel grow and gives me a better idea of what you guys want to see in the future. That's all the time we have for today, guys, so subscribe, comment, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.